Good morning, Flosstube. How is everybody this morning? Hopefully well. Hopefully you all have gotten lots of stitching done. Today is Wednesday, November 15th, and I thought I would pop on really quick and kind of give you a stitching update and a life update. It's been a little over a month since I've been on. My life has been a little bit crazy this month. We had a house guest for about a week and a half. She needed a safe place to stay, so we gave her that, and yeah, now she's in a safe place in another town, thankfully. And then my two sons, my eldest and youngest, are currently not happy with each other, so that's been kind of weighing heavy on our family and my emotional side, my emotional well-being. So I haven't really had the desire to do a lot of filming, but I thought today, you know what, I'm gonna put all that aside. I'm gonna get back on. So I really enjoyed doing my first Flosstube. So yeah, here I am. So I thought I would talk about some of the comments I got first, which all the comments were very encouraging and very nice, and I appreciate all of them. I thank all of you. Tammy B78, she gave me a pretty good tip about like how to place the camera to where it was more level with my face and you didn't see so much of the ceiling. So I've been trying to play with that a little bit. I'm not sure. It looks a little bit level to me, but I'm not sure how the perspective will be when you guys see the video. So any other tips and tricks you can give me on that, I would appreciate it. Also, for those of you that are watching that do floss tubes, do you use just your phone? Like, what do you use to video your floss tubes? I would be interested in hearing that. Miss Faraway, she answered my question about that puffy floss that I grabbed for the Heart and Hand Tiny Town Halloween. If you remember in my first video, I talked about how I wasn't really liking using it very much because it's puffy. It's just kind of difficult to use. But apparently it's E940 and it's glow in the dark, so not really sure how I lucked out with that. And it definitely should be worth the irritation of working with it once it's finally done and I can see it glow in the dark when it's all done. And then Hoop It Up with Jan, she had a nice comment on my floss tube and hoping we could learn the whole floss tube videos together. She's way ahead of me in her episode count. This is only episode 2 for me, and I think she's on like 3 or 4, maybe even 5. But I just wanted to give her a shout out because her videos are quite amazing, and you're doing pretty well with the floss tube world there, Jen. I think the last time I looked, she was up to like about 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, congratulations, Jen. So I also thought that I would show a couple of pieces that one piece that I have finished that's not a cross stitch. But I think it's kind of interesting to see the different crafts that we all do. I don't know if some of you have other stuff that you do. But I started this a year ago, and I put it away in my closet and I didn't have it finished, and put stuff in front of it and then just kind of forgot about it until about a week ago. And I thought, oh, you need to finish it. You don't have very much left. So this is a ceramic piece that I got from our local crafts shop. They sell a lot of ceramics, a lot of quilting stuff. Sadly, not a lot of cross-stitch stuff. But when I put it away, I literally only had this here to do and these sunflowers. I'm not sure why I didn't finish it last year. But yeah, so I finished this and I really love the way it turned out. And I have painted ceramics before, a few ceramics, and gave them away as birthday presents and stuff. But yeah, so that's the ceramic piece for fall that I finished last year. I might have to run down there and see if they have any Christmas pieces out yet. So I think that would be fun. Hopefully I can finish it and not put it away unfinished. And then I also like to do some diamond art painting. I think a lot of us like to do that. And I got this one last year. I still have that piece on there. But I'm almost, well, I shouldn't say almost, I still have pretty much the whole reindeer to do. And a little bit of Santa's sleeve there. But yeah, I really love this one. Hopefully I can get it done for Christmas and have it hung up. It's been, I don't know, probably a couple weeks since I've worked on it. But yeah, I love that one. I had it just hanging up on the wall here, so I thought, oh, I'll show it. Why not? Okay, so now we'll jump into kind of the stuff I've been doing. So I do have an FFO. It is Gingerbread Cookies by Stitching with the Housewives. I started this on June 26th, finished the stitching September 3rd, and I think I fully finished it on its piece, not last week, but the week before. I love the way it turned out. And I don't know if any of you follow Stitching with the Housewives on Facebook, but I did post this when I think I only had like this done, and I was gonna start the gingerbread men, and then I realized, like, you chose the white fabric that has, I don't know if you can see it, that has the iridescent sparkles in it. It's like, what do you call it, opalescent. And then I thought, oh, you chose the white, now what are you gonna do with the outline of the gingerbread houses and the white on the outside of the gingerbread men? So I posted on their website to kind of get some thoughts on what they thought I should do. But on this, I did change the bamboo for all the wording to black coffee, and I changed ribbon red to licorice red. And I think the only reason why I did that is I think I had more licorice red than I did ribbon red. And I think that's the only reason why I did that. And then I changed the bamboo in the houses and the gingerbread men and gingerbread houses to eggshell. And then I mounted it on sticky board with 2 layers of batting, and then mounted that onto, what is this called? The Priscilla's checks, black and white, and then put it on this board that Stitching with the Housewives had for carrot cake. I want to say it's from 141 Design, but I don't remember for sure. And then I just took some fabric, ripped it, and made a pretty little bow, and then just put a little gingerbread man in there. Yeah. The only thing that I noticed that I don't really like about it is I think when I was mounting this on the sticky board, that I pulled, in certain areas, I pulled a little harder than others. I don't know if you can see it in there, but like, some parts look uneven. Like this to me doesn't look very even, like I pulled too hard right there. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, it'll look really cute on my wall. And I'm really new to this whole finishing like this. Normally I would just put stuff in a frame with matte and be done. So still kind of working out the flaws on that. So that's my only fully finished as far as cross stitch is concerned. And then I have, if you remember from my first video, I was working on the Prairie school or Santas for each one for the year my children were born, the first Christmas my husband and I spent together, and the year my grandson was born. So I started with this one for my son Denim. He was born in 1989. And I am doing this on 10 count Aida, Mocha Tula, I think is how you say that. And this is where I am on this one. I think when I showed it last time, I think I was only like to here. So I've gotten quite a bit done. For me, I've gotten quite a bit done. If you remember, I was talking about maybe seeing if I could do all the Santas on one piece of fabric with this border all around them. Well, after seeing exactly how big it's going to be, I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to do that. Had I have chose like a 14 count or a 16 count, I think I would have been able to do that. But I think on the 10 count, it's just going to be way too big. I don't think I'll be able to mount it on anything or have a wall big enough to hang it on. So sadly, I think I'm going to have to do them separately. And then my next whip is Poinsettia by Carol Manning. And this one my husband bought for me last Christmas. And I did start it a couple days after Christmas. And I actually got all the border done, this done, and started this one. And I wasn't liking the way it was turning out. I wasn't liking the way my stitches were laying. Just was not loving it. And I actually found a fabric in my stash about that color. And yeah, like I said, I wasn't loving it. So I decided to restart it. And I restarted it in April of this year. And not a ton of progress on it, but still progress nonetheless. So this is where I am. And I think when I showed it on my last floss tube, I think I had all this border done. And I went ahead and put all the white in this part of the border and got in all this dark green, and there's some lighter green here. I don't know if you can see that. So I did do all that. I do kind of want to make this more of a focus piece this time, just because it is Christmas. It was a Christmas gift from my husband. I'd like to kind of have it almost completed by Christmas. And it is done on 14 count Aida Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I really love this fabric, the Fiber on a Whim. It's soft and it just feels good in your hands. I used to cross stitch in hoops all the time. And I got a stand. I can't remember the name of the stand. It's one of those ones that everybody has. I want to say the Lowry stand, but I don't think that's correct. So I got one of those. It's with the rods, and you know, wrap your fabric around it. I'm just not loving it. Not loving it at all. So after that, I saw a lot of floss tubers that were stitching in hand, and I thought, I'm gonna try that, see how that works. And I find that I really love that stitching in hand. I think my floss lays better, unless if it's a big huge piece like the Prairie School Santas. My fabric piece that I got is just huge, so I do struggle a little bit with that one, stitching it in hand. Sorry, I digress. But my next whip is Happy Halloween from that French Stitch retreat, online retreat that they had in September. And I think when I showed this in my first video, I think I had all of this done, the moon, and I think 2 of the ghosts done. So this is where I've gotten. And I haven't worked on this probably in a couple weeks, but that's where I've gotten. So the house, I actually decided not to go with the colors that they had for it. The colors that they had for it was Pebble Beach and Colonial Copper by Classic Colorworks. And I wasn't feeling these colors, like I wasn't liking it too much. So I thought that I would change it. And I really liked the Just Rust. Like the words are in Just Rust, one of the pumpkins is in Just Rust, and I don't know, I really kind of like this color. So I thought I'm just gonna do it in Just Rust and see how it turns out. And I really like how it turned out, like how the variegation laid like that. I really kind of got lucky on that. I tried to figure out, you know, how to kind of get it to where it would do that, and luckily it happened. So I'm kind of happy with that. And now that it's, you know, it's after Thanksgiving and I'm not really feeling any Thanksgiving, or excuse me, it's not after Thanksgiving, oh my goodness. Now that it's after Halloween, I'm not really feeling Halloween stitching, so I'm probably gonna put that away till probably next September, or whenever the urge hits me again to stitch it. And then my next whip and final whip is Winter Tranquility. So if you remember from my first video, I was talking about this. It was one of my plans that I wanted to do. I'm trying to be better about the hair playing, sorry guys. I wanted to start it within a couple days of my last video because they were calling for snow up here in northern Nevada. I did end up starting it October 25th, and I did change all the colors, which kind of scares me a little bit, but we're gonna go with it. So here it is, Winter Tranquility by Twin Peak Primitives. This was a free pattern on their website. I don't know if it's still there as a free pattern, but I got it. I want to say it was April. I went and got it from their website. But I did change all the colors, like I said. I even changed the fabric color. So I chose a different brown for the deer, kind of darken him up a little bit. I chose a gray for the rabbit. Obviously the tree I'm leaving brown, but it is a different brown. The cardinal's still red. The house I chose, what is it called? Chesapeake Bay by Classic Colorworks. My husband and I painted our house, not this past summer, but last summer. And the Chesapeake Bay matches my house fairly well. So I thought it would be kind of fun to make this the same color as my house. And I've decided not to do the big snowflake here. I'm just gonna add some more of these little snowflakes to kind of fill in that empty space without the big snowflake. And this is where I am on this. So I got the border all done and this tree, not all done, but you know, part of it. And I kind of like the way the variegation is kind of coming out on the tree. I think it gives it some depth. So we'll see. And the fabric that I chose is 14 count Hazy Gray by Fabric Flair. It's a little bit of a stiffer fabric, so it does kind of work a little bit better in stitching with in hand. And these are the colors that I chose. Sorry guys, I'm scratching my nose. So it's a combination of Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. I don't know if you can really see all of those. So I love obviously I'm leaving the cardinal red, and I think I'm gonna love that Papa red with that cardinal with these somewhat muted colors. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited and nervous all at the same time. Like I hope it turns out okay. You know, there's nothing like spending all that time on a cross stitch and then not loving how it turns out. So that's all my whips that I have. I thought I would kind of ask you guys about your whips. Like, how many whips do you guys have? Do you guys have a big rotation? Realistically, I only showed you 5. And like I said, I'm probably going to put the Halloween one away, so that'll leave me at 4. I used to be a monogamous stitcher, so this whole whip rotation is very new to me. But I do know to have enough content for a floss tube, you kind of have to have more than one whip to show. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of just talking. And I don't know how all of you feel about just the talking parts of the floss tubes. So how many whips do you have in your rotation? And then I wanted to ask a couple questions about like retreats and online retreats. I've gotten some emails about the Jingle Ball, and I've kind of looked into it a little bit, but I'm not really sure about it. Like, have you guys done it? Do you guys love it? What does it consist of? I saw that there are some classes that you can take. I assume you get a pattern. Hopefully it's not closed because I haven't really made up my mind if I'm going to do it or not. They seem to all be on like Saturdays. And I work Saturdays from like 9 to 5. So I wouldn't really be able to attend if it's during those hours. Yeah, so tell me what you think, what your thoughts are if you're gonna attend, if you've thought about it, if you've done it and didn't care for it, if you've done it and loved it. And then I was gonna ask, like, where do you find information on all of this? It almost seems like it's a secret society. And I want in, guys. I want in on the secret society. Where do you go to find all the information on the retreats and the Whipco boards and the stitch-alongs and all of that? If you could help me out with that, I would appreciate that. And then, oh, I had something else I wanted to talk about and now I totally forgot. Oh, I don't think I talked about this in the beginning of the video. If I did, please forgive me. So I am on Instagram, and on Instagram I am NV Slow Stitch. And I don't know if any of you have seen my little page. I haven't posted in a while. I need to get better about that. I need to figure out how to make my pictures look a little bit more professional, along with how to make my videos look a little more professional. So my first floss tube and this floss tube is going to be under just my name that I signed up with YouTube way back when. you know, Danielle. I'm not sure if it's Danielle Jensen or Danielle Hall Jensen. But should I change the name of my YouTube page to be Envy Slow Stitch, or just leave it the way it is? So tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed my video. My husband just walked in. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, guys.